Cassie with Patriot Property Management, and this is my friend Natasha. We're here today to talk about property inspections.
Okay, so property inspections means once the tenant is in place?
Yes.
Okay, so how often do you do that?
Well, we're going to do it right at the beginning. When we get a new tenant in, we're going to walk that property. We have a 6 or 7 page checklist that I'm going to leave with them because we want them to get into the property, use the property, make sure that everything's good for them, and then I'm going to follow up with them. That checklist is due 5 days after they've moved in, but I'm going to follow up with them and make sure that everything's addressed about 30 to 45 days in.
Okay.
That's when we start finding things like the unauthorized pet or the extra tenant. So that's a good opportunity for us to catch some things that we need to correct early on in the process. And we'll go back through that checklist with them and walk the property and get anything we need to address.
Okay, so that's after the first month or so.
Yep.
And then how often after that? Like, do the tenants start to get annoyed if you're in there all the time, or how does that look?
No, so what we have in Arizona in property management, it's called quiet enjoyment. So the property might belong to you, but you've leased it to a tenant. That means that tenant is allowed quiet enjoyment. So if we were going in there every month,
Yeah.
the tenant
Too
may
much.
be calling and saying, I'm not enjoying my property so
Yeah.
much. So we're going to go in at day 1, and then we're going to go back 30 to 45 days, and then we're going to go back at the halfway mark, right? Because we want to make sure that
Okay.
everything's still good. And then towards the end, when we're ready to renew the lease, before we offer that lease renewal, we're going to make sure that everything's good and that we still want them, reviewed. Did they pay on time? Do we still want them as a tenant? And then we'll go check out the property one more time when we offer them that lease renewal.
Okay, cool. So when you go and do these inspections, you already said you're looking for an unauthorized pet or an extra tenant. What other things are you looking for?
We might be looking for illegal activity. How's the property smell? Did they sign up that they were a non-smoker and you have a non-smoking property and now the place smells like cigarettes?
Yeah.
Because we're going to have to remediate that.
Okay.
So another thing we could look for is deferred maintenance. Maybe they forgot to call and tell us that the faucet was leaking, and when we open the cabinet, we find mold. So those are the things that we're looking for. When we go in, we're actually going to open doors, open cabinets. If I get there and there's a room that's locked, I'm going to ask them to get the door unlocked because I'm here to inspect all of the property.
That's amazing. And that saves my property value and saves us from any unexpected surprises.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Cool. Thanks for tuning in to our Property Management Minute. And if you want any more information, you can check us out at patpm.com.